Hello. Hello. I'm gonna wait and see if a couple people come on here first. My topic is going to be mental health. I think this is important to talk about right now because being stuck at home can be very hard on someone with mental health problems. And if I say something that offends you about mental health issues, I don't mean to, just letting you know. I deal with depression and anxiety myself, generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder. I also have an issue called disassociation. It's like when someone feels like they're out of body, kind of like they're just kind of floating around watching themselves do things and not feel like it's actually them. That's called disassociation. Anyway, I have a board on my Pinterest that I'm going to use to refer to for this, and then I will be talking about these things in between. So I have a couple people watching now. Hello. I'm going to go ahead and start talking about mental illness. Hi, my name is Cammie, and I have generalized anxiety disorder and major depressive disorder. So, what? You want to say hello real quick? Yeah, sure.
Hi.
Hey, this is my oldest daughter. I love you. All right. Go. That was better. Thank you. Okay. Back to what I was going to do. I wasn't quite sure what I was going to talk about today, but then I started having some issues this morning with some brain fog, just cloudiness. I wasn't quite sure what to do with my day. And something my psychologist has me do, every day I write down during the day some things to do, and at night some things to do. And that can be helpful, but at the same time, sometimes I'm just like, okay, I did those. Like maybe I made them too simple, or maybe I'm just like, I have to listen to my body more than my mental health that day. Like, okay, for today, I vacuumed the stairs and upstairs, landing in the bedrooms. I didn't really feel accomplished in that. I just felt like, okay, I got it done. The vacuum was still sitting out, so I was like, I want to put this away, but I can't put it away until these are done, so I just did them. And I was like, okay, cool, they're done. I got my kids' schooling done early. Generally, that would make me feel proud of myself, which I'm allowing myself to feel proud of myself, because growing up, if we focused on not feeling prideful, humility, things like this. So it's been a hard journey for me to actually be okay with, you know what, I did a good job. Yes, I'm smart. And say those things about myself and not feel bad about it. Because I need to know the good things about myself. I need to actually know them, not just say them and be like, okay, cool, whatever. Yes, I have pretty brown eyes, and that's not being. Can't think of the word. Saying that I have pretty brown eyes is not me being.
There's a number in my head, 1 through 10.
Someone that thinks too much of their looks. I can't think of the word.
It was close.
It's just me noticing that God made me with pretty eyes. And I'm sorry if I'm speaking kind of softly. This is a hard topic for me to speak about, but it does need to be spoken about. So, I showered and I washed my face, so I may need to get myself some star stickers, just so I can have like a visual I did good. So I did my self-care. I washed my face. I cleaned my body. And when I went to pick out my clothes this morning, I was like, nothing feels like there's nothing driving me to pick something specific. I was like, okay, I know I want to wear sweatpants because I know I want to do some stretching. I know I want to wear a long sleeve undershirt because I'm chilly. But then I was like, I wanted to wear a tank top on top. For some reason, I wanted to wear a tank top on top instead of like a sweater or something. And now I have my fleece behind me because I've been chilly on and off. And then I was like, one of my goals right now is to wear my jewelry more often. So I put some earrings in to match the shirt that I picked.
You're really quiet.
Go away. Go away.
Okay.
So yeah, that's my bossy oldest daughter. So I put this Harley shirt on. Not quite sure why. I'm not really feeling like a biker or anything like that today. I'm just... One second. Girls, quiet. I did my prayer journal this morning. I had a few moments of silence and it felt good. I felt a connection to the words that I was speaking on paper to God. So that was nice. I'm allowing myself to try to be just here. That's very hard to do. Just be here, especially with the disassociative disorder. I don't always feel like I'm present in this moment. I know I want to clean the kitchen walls and stove today, and I can see them. I know what it will take to do that. I don't have any motivation. My right hip is stabbing pain. Like that on cue. My right foot is tingling like pins and needles, and my right arm, I'm getting a lot of tremors in my right arm today. And just feeling numb with little spurts of emotion in my cloudiness. So right now, because I have major depressive disorder, I have episodes of depression just kind of filtering in and out of my everyday. I am on medication for my anxiety, so that's helping quite a bit. It's hard to have everybody at home right now because I'm used to and need to have a lot of downtime. I need a lot of time to myself to have enough energy and brain power to get through social aspects of life. And I am trying to fit in more quiet downtimes and more just times to be alone. Just even if I'm just sitting in a chair with a book, or even if I can just go up to my room and just rest by myself under the covers. This is helpful. This is helpful in many ways. This is helpful because of my autistic tendencies. This is helpful for my anxiety. This is helpful for my depression, and this is helpful for my physical and mental well-being. Being able to find those spaces by myself. And I feel like today I'm not going to have motivation to do things. But let me get back to where I started. That was just kind of a rundown of where I am right now. And I will move. a lot because my body gets unhappy with me in certain spaces. And okay, back to mental health. So there is if someone says anxiety isn't that bad, this is a very, very good description of one aspect of it. I will get distracted during this, and I'm sorry about that. That is one of my autistic tendencies. I will get distracted even though I know something I'm doing is important. Especially with my children at home. If someone says anxiety isn't that bad, yes, it is. Anxiety makes you sit there and overthink every single thing. At times, it makes you think people in your life are leaving you. You begin to feel abandoned and not worth anything because the most important person or people in your life don't want you. So you push away for fear of being hurt. You push them away so they can't discard you or leave you, when in reality, nobody was ever leaving. Anxiety this bad makes you leave the ones you love. It sucks. So when you have anxiety disorders, some people have this ingrained into their thinking, and it's very hard to think that you're a burden on someone, or that what they say isn't really what they mean, or we need affirmations that our anxiety is lying to us. Even though we know our anxiety is lying to us, it's very hard for us to it's very hard for anybody with an anxiety disorder to really believe that the anxiety is lying to them, because we think of these things as truth, and sometimes we don't know what's true and what's not. So some daily affirmations for us is when we say something intelligent or when we say something funny, just knowing in ourselves that, hey, I'm funny. Hey, I'm smart. That we don't have to get everything done right now. When we feel overwhelmed, when we feel like, oh my gosh, there's so much to do. Beep, beep, back it up. Take a deep breath and remember, everything will get done. It doesn't have to get done right now. Think of one thing and get that done right now. My thoughts matter and my feelings matter. So even though feelings are fickle and feelings are not truth, what you feel at any given time does matter. The best thing to do with those feelings is to allow yourself to feel them. And I'm speaking to the choir with this one. I'm having to learn this as well. Allow yourself to feel what you're feeling, but then let it go. That is very, very hard to do. To actually sit there and feel something, and then to be able to let that emotion go and continue. I am allowed to take up space. I am physically allowed to be in a group of people and not feel like I'm being ignored or being the odd one out. I am allowed to sit in that group of people and be like, okay, I am here, I'm important, my space is important. Making time to do the things that you love is very important. Sometimes when I am in a rut with my anxiety or I'm in a depressive spell, it is very important for me to either get out a bin of nail polish and pick a color and say, okay, I'm gonna do this, because I love painting my nails. Right now, I don't feel like doing anything. Right now, I have just apathy galore. Nothing, I don't feel anything for anything. But making myself do that will raise my spirits. It'll be like, hey, I look good. This feels good. I did this. That is a personal accomplishment. Or if I just need to take a cup of coffee and sit down and just brain dump, just write everything out. That is very, very helpful. Or if I need to go down in my craft area with a bottle of water and just be by myself, I can just cry it out, I can grab some fabric and be like, okay, I need to make something with this, or just something along the lines of what I love to do, is very, very helpful for anyone dealing with anxiety or depression. When you feel stuck, when you feel like nothing matters, or you just don't feel anything, getting yourself involved in something that you know you love to do will help you break that, will help pull you up out of that. Sometimes you just have to curl up with your blankie until you feel better. That is very, very true. Sometimes it's just like, you know what? You just need your blankie. You just need to curl up, relax, be by yourself, close your eyes, breathe. And that's okay. That's totally okay. Sometimes mental health is a grieving process. I know for myself, I've had to grieve the person I used to be and allowing myself to be okay in this new space that I'm in. Just be like, but before I had kids, when I was first married, before I had kids, I had a good job. I had a healthy body that I knew of. And I'm not there anymore. I used to be able to work in a regular workplace. I used to be able to go to the gym and pump it out. I used to be an amazing swimmer, and I'm not there now. The space that I'm in is where I need to mentally and physically be, because that person is in my past, and I need to grieve that because I can't be there anymore. But I need to be okay with where I am now. So grief is like the ocean. It comes in waves, ebbing and flowing. Sometimes the water's calm and sometimes it's overwhelming. And all we can learn to do is swim. And we need to have people around us that we can connect with, we can talk with through these processes, because we can't be alone doing this. If you are alone doing this, you need to find somebody to connect with, whether it's just a psychologist or whether it is a friend who is going through it or has been through it, or if you have somebody that is like a mentor to you, they would be a great one to plug into as well, or someone who is like the head of any religious organization or church in your area. That would be a really great benefit as well. So please do not try to go through this alone. Find somebody, even if it just happens to be a Facebook group of people who are going through the same thing. Please connect with them, please. This is another one. When I shut down, I shut all the way down. I don't want to talk. I don't want to be surrounded by people. I don't want to answer my phone. And I don't want to be bothered. Just let me go through what I go through and I'll be all right. And that's okay. Sometimes we just gotta sit in it and go through it and just cry, or I say cry a lot because that's one of my processes. It really helps me get through emotional things, and I'm finding that for myself. Crying is just one of my processes, and I used to be like, oh, I don't want to cry in front of my husband. I don't want to, this and that, and oh, it's gonna make me feel weak or look weak or whatever. But it's not. Crying is part of strength. If you are able to allow yourself to feel those emotions so much that they start coming out through tears, that is so much strength. And once you get through the crying and the tissues and whatever, you will feel so much better. It does. It feels so much better. It feels like a weight is lifted off of you to go through that process, and finding out what that process is for you is important, and it's trial and error. So mental illness is the only disease that can make you deny its own existence. Certainly, the idea that the brain can deny its own illness is a frightening thought. Yes, overthinking, anxiety. It's like, oh, I don't have a problem with anxiety. I just worry about this. Oh crap, my chest is hurting. Oh crap, what just happened? I fainted and I woke up, and that would be an anxiety attack. And there is a problem. Stop denying you have a problem. When you think, oh, what would be the easiest way for me to kill myself? That is a problem. You are in depression. You need help. Please do not deny what you are feeling. Please do not try to just glaze over what these feelings are. Mental health is the most important health you have. If your brain is telling your body things that are untrue and things that you need either medication or someone to talk to or whatever, please take care of the health of your brain. And oh my gosh, please. I overanalyze situations because I'm scared of what will happen if I'm not prepared for it. Yes. Now, for me, this isn't just an anxiety thing. This is actually one of my autistic qualities. I overthink things constantly. But yes, part of generalized anxiety disorder is overthinking, overanalyzing. And I will literally go through worst case scenarios in my head every time I think something's going to come up. Like if someone says, hey, I need to talk to you. Oh my gosh, my brain's like, oh, I said something wrong. Oh, I have to change something else about myself. No. They just need to talk to me. It could be, where did you get those socks that you were wearing? It could be, hey, I need help with something and you're good at this. Come, please help me. And I know that's not going to stop, but I know that's just something that I do deal with, and I try to back that up when I feel it happening. Sometimes I can't, but people with anxiety don't have a train of thought. We have 7 trains on 4 tracks that narrowly avoid each other when paths cross, and all the conductors are screaming. Yeah, basically. Depression isn't always crying your mascara off in the shower and playing sad songs in bed. Sometimes it's not wanting to talk to anyone for days, and other times it's desperately needing to be around people. Sometimes depression is having no appetite, even though you haven't eaten anything since yesterday, and sometimes it's eating everything you have in the fridge. Depression isn't your boyfriend holding you and telling you it's going to be okay. It's sitting across the table, not eating, having him ask you what's wrong, and knowing that you're ruining his night because you just can't seem to snap out of it and just be happy. It's the frustrating feeling of desperately wanting to enjoy something and just effing be normal for once. It's keeping things a secret from the people you love because you don't want them to look at you like you're broken. No, depression isn't beautiful black and white images. Depression is lonely and frustrating and mostly just exhausting. Yeah, depression is very exhausting, and unfortunately people just don't understand. You can have mild bouts of depression, like you feel down or whatever, but truly being depressed, like right now I'm going through a mild, I say mild because I have gotten pretty low before. I'm going through a little bit of it right now to where it's just making my mind so cloudy, and like I don't really feel a whole lot of emotions, and if I do feel an emotion, I don't really know what it is or what to do with it. Like I was saying earlier, I vacuumed the stairs and upstairs, the landing and the bedrooms, and I didn't feel like I did anything. I didn't feel good about it. I didn't feel like, hey, sweet, I got something done. I just nothing. I'm not motivated to do anything. I'm just kind of on default. I could clean the stove, but I'm just kind of like, I'm not really into it. I'm just blah, 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 going through the motions. Yeah. What mental illness actually looks like. Canceling plans at the last minute, believing they are a burden to everyone. Mood swings that last hours or days. Being emotionally distant. Constantly needing reassurance that they're still loved or haven't messed up. Isolating themselves to protect others. Yeah. I went through a couple days, I think it was a week ago, 2 weeks ago, where I was just bawling. And my husband's like, "Are you okay?" And I mean, I have not been able to see my counselor since the end of last year because my insurance for some reason changed starting January 1st, and I would have to pay out of pocket. And I'm sorry, I don't have $150 for every hour I need to see her. So I haven't been in counseling all year. And that's hard. Because she really helps me just to be able to unload, just to have a safe place to just cry and not be judged, and just, I miss that. So basically Brian was watching me go through a counseling session. So I was isolating myself inside of myself. And it didn't feel okay at all. But it really helped that my husband asked what was wrong and cared enough to say something that helped me process through it, actually. So if you notice that someone just seems off, say something. Frequent crying and meltdowns. Having an outburst over something others might consider to be small. Yeah, I do that. I can't explain to you why things trigger off my anxiety at random, or why sometimes I lock myself away and won't want to see anybody for weeks. I can't explain to you why there are times I need to be alone. Just know it's a need to be alone, not a desire to be away from you. That is a big thing, because when someone is going through a bout of triggered anxiety or some like your verbiage sucks. Or through a depressive stage, we aren't trying to get away from the people that we love. We aren't trying to ignore the people that we love. We actually need the people that we love to be around us. We just need some time and some space to be alone physically while still being near the people that we connect with the best. So it's like being in the same house, but being in our own room and having enough time and space to just take that time and space to ourselves. How to help someone with depression. Helping him or her getting an appropriate diagnosis and treatment for this. So, I know diagnosis processes can be very tough for some people because it ends up with a label. And I've noticed through my process of finding out the different things that have been wrong with me physically, mentally, emotionally, all of this, that there are a lot of diagnoses along with this. And unfortunately, some people, quite a few people, have a problem with the diagnosis being a label. And for me, as an autistic, and growing up, none of this stuff I was undiagnosed everything. I didn't have any help. I didn't know why I was different. I didn't know why something hurt or why whatever. And now that I have these labels, they actually help me. And especially having an appropriate diagnosis for mental health, being able to have medication. Medication is not a bad thing. People have to get over that. Medication is there because some people need it. And it's modern science, people. Come on. Anyway, and other treatments like having a counselor, having a psychologist, having a psychiatrist. These are all helpful things. So being supportive of someone getting a diagnosis that they need to help them in life, to help them feel better about themselves and to have a healthier, happier life because, oh, now I know what I have, now I know what I need, it can just improve from there. So encourage the person to stay with treatment or seek different treatment if no improvement occurs. I started off on one medication. It wasn't working very well. So I got a gene test done and found that I need to be on a different medication. I tried one counselor. Didn't work very well. I went to an actual psychologist. Perfect fit. So it's finding the right treatments and sticking with them. Use understanding, patience, affection, and encouragement and offer emotional support. Please, please, please. I'm going to read that again. Use understanding, patience, affection, and encouragement to offer emotional support. This is so needed. So needed. Encourage participation in some activities that once gave you pleasure. Don't push depressed person to undertake too much too soon. Say, hey, I know you're going through something right now. Would it help if you did something that you know you like? Like maybe I could paint your nails for you. Maybe I can give you a cup of coffee and some time to just be by yourself. Maybe I can help curl you up like a cocoon in your bed and you can just relax and rest. Be that person. Or would you like me to go get your coloring book? I know that is something that you enjoy and that helps you mentally. Would you like to color? Little things like that. Encourage the person to join a depressive support group where they can and share in a non-judgmental environment. Having a counselor, being connected to a Facebook group of people who go through the same stuff. Facebook is not evil, people. It is a tool. Just be respectful and don't be stupid with it. Remember that depression is not something a person can snap out of. They can't just be like, okay, snap out of it. Come on. You just need to be happy. You just need to be like, oh my gosh, all right, come on, snap out of it. That does not help. That actually makes it worse. Depression is a mental illness, not a choice. We are not choosing to feel like crap. We are not choosing to isolate ourselves from the world. We want better lives. And we need you. Anybody who deals with any type of mental health needs people to care. Okay. Keeping going. I'm just going to rattle this off real quick. What depression feels and looks like. Lack of motivation, avoiding contact with friends, neglecting hobbies, being indecisive, like not actually being able to decide, isolation, persistent negative view of themselves, withdrawing from social events and activities, difficulty sleeping, loss of interest or pleasure in anything that would normally be interesting or pleasurable to them, low self-esteem, feeling guilty, anger attacks like lashing out, having difficulty at work, a negative view of the world, feeling tired all the time. If you do not have a chronic illness and you feel tired all the time, either one, you're working yourself too hard, or 2, chances are you either have anxiety or depression. And depression is usually the one that makes you very, very, very sluggish. And feeling worthless and feeling tearful. These are all things to look for depression. Anhedonia. This is an interesting word. The loss of interest and enjoyment in all activities that you once liked. The feeling of not caring anymore. That's a big one. This is something, like I said, I'm a crier. So I cry through so much. Let me answer my husband here real quick. I'm sorry, hang on. Okay. I'm a crier. Crying helps me get through things, but it's very hard for me to, let me get back to that, cry in front of other people. And sometimes I really can't handle crying in front of other people. So this one, don't cry in front of them, please. Just fight back the tears. Don't let them see me cry. That's a big deal. If you're not comfortable crying in front of people, most people aren't comfortable crying in front of people. Now that I know that helps with my process, I'm getting better at that. And if I'm in a group of people that really I'm not comfortable doing that with, I'll just grab a box of tissues and go in another room if I need to and just cry, and it'll make me feel better. And I'll go back to the group, and sure, I'll have red puffy eyes or whatever, and if they're like, oh my gosh, were you crying? Yeah, I was crying. I'm okay. I was having a tough time and I needed to work through it. We're good. I cleaned my room today, and no one thinks this is a big deal for someone battling depression. It took so much more energy than needed. When you are depressed, you don't have energy to do much of anything. Like right now, I'm not motivated. Yesterday, I wasn't very motivated either. I got on my blog and I was like, you know what? I'm going to work on knocking out a couple of these blog posts. And even my husband knows when I am writing, he's like, okay, I know you're writing right now. Can I ask you something? And I'll be like, not yet. So he'll be like, he's cool with it, because that's my job right now, is to follow what God wants me to do. That's my job in life, is to follow. And when God tells me to do something, I do it. Getting better at that. I'm actually very proud of myself with that. I'm obviously not perfect in that, but I needed to get on my blog and I felt like I really needed to work on a couple. So I picked a couple of them. I pulled up some extra tabs and pulled up the research to work on those blogs. And I did. I was like, okay, I'm going to use this link. I'm going to go through that page. And I did. I got a couple blog posts done, and that felt good. Even though it wasn't like an actual feeling of like accomplishment or feeling awesome or anything like that. It was just like, okay, I did it. You know? I did something. And it was something good. So that was wonderful. That was positive. I know I mentioned a little bit of disassociation in the beginning, and this is going to be the thing that I leave off with today. I'm going to do another post on mental illness sometime, because I think there is so much more that needs to be touched on. Disassociation is a self-defense mechanism that the brain uses when it cannot handle the current situation or when it's attempting to process something painful. When people disassociate, they begin to feel unreal. Sometimes they feel as though they are watching themselves go through their day. they're watching themselves do activities. Other times it's an entirely eerie feeling, as if their body does not belong to them. I disassociate. I feel sometimes like I'm not actually doing the motions that my body is doing. Like looking down, I know that this is my body right now. I know I'm the one talking, but I'm not a public speaker. Right now, I can see myself talking, and it says I am live, so therefore I'm like, okay, I know that right now I should be dispensing information, but because I don't see myself as this, I'm just sitting here. My body is physically sitting here, and I'm just speaking what I feel like I need to speak. So I'm actually disassociating right now. Yeah, like my body, like my brain can't handle this current situation. And I'm going very long on this video. I know I am. And I'm not done with this. I could go quite a while on mental illness, and what that looks like, because I feel it's that important. But yeah, when you feel disconnected from your body, you feel disconnected from your personal history, you feel disconnected from any sensory experience that's happening. Like for instance, someone who was raped, they may feel disassociated from any physical intimacy that they are part of at another point in their life. They're like, okay, I didn't know that I don't feel like it was me that just had sex with my husband. They feel completely separated from it because something happened to their body that they were not okay with. It was traumatic. So their mind separated from what their body was physically feeling. So they're unable to actually grasp that that was them that went through it, and that was actually part of their history. Oh, yeah, this was me in school. I hate having social anxiety. I have to mentally prepare myself for 10 minutes just to say, here, during attendance. Or if I was like, I had to sharpen my pencil. I waited until somebody else got up to throw something in the trash can to go sharpen my pencil. Because I was like, I can't just be the one person that stands up and goes and does something, because everyone's going to be looking at me. And I'm going to feel like I'm going to blush, or I'm going to pee my pants or something, because it's a big deal. That's social anxiety. Okay, because I know I'm going to just keep going and going, I'm going to stop right here. But I'm going to do another video on mental health very soon, because otherwise I will forget to do it, and that's not okay. We can't forget to do these things. We cannot forget to speak out about these things, to tell our experiences, to give information. It's too important. So, screenshot of my Pinterest board so I do not forget to come back to this. Alright, I'm going to go for now. Comment if you like on the bottom. I do like to read the comments. I like to respond to them. If you don't feel like commenting on here, please send me a message. Anyway, I love you guys, and I'm here for you. So I'm a great person to just talk to, because one, I have terrible short-term memory. So I'm probably going to forget at least some of the stuff you say. That's one reason I like text so much as an autistic. Text over voice. Anyway, bye.